How's it going, guys? It is Blake back once again with another reading of the, I was about to say the Adventures Shadows Before Dawn. We're doing tool number 19 today, which is a pretty lengthy one, so I kind of wanted to save this one for when I had a little bit more time. Still have some things to do today, but we're going to jump into tool number 19, which is entitled Choosing Happiness. So first section, make happiness your intention. By now you have probably figured out that self-love and happiness are synonymous. It is a recurring theme throughout this book because the first loving action we can take toward ourselves is to orient ourselves towards happiness. When we are approaching ourselves from an attitude of self-hate, our last priority is happiness because self-hate wants to think that happiness is superficial and selfish. But to love yourself means to deliberately choose and create happiness regardless of the people, events, and circumstances that are external to you. Happiness is not something that you are either born with or not born with. Happiness is a result of a series of ongoing choices. You may have been born wealthy or impoverished. You may have been sick or well, or you may have been treated well or abused. Regardless of your background, happiness is a personal choice. Making happiness our intention means making the fully conscious decision to prioritize happiness and make it our goal. Happiness becomes our modus operandi, or is it pronounced modus operandi? I think it's modus operandi. But unless we intend to be happy, we will not have the motivation to actually create happiness for ourselves. Until we consciously make it our intention to be happy, we will continue to try to get happiness subconsciously, going about it the hard way, and we will always be at the mercy of limiting beliefs. One way to formally make an intention to be happy is to create a list of your most important intentions. Think about your priorities when you're compiling this list. Some examples of intentions might be: I intend to landscape my house, I intend to be a good parent, I intend to get a college degree, or I intend to reach enlightenment. Make it as long as you want. Look over your list and eliminate any intentions that are not so much things you want to do as they are things that you think you should or need to do. With the rest of your list, finish each intention with this statement: and I intend to feel happiness while I'm doing it. So the first intention above would read: I intend to landscape my house, and I intend to feel happiness while I'm doing it. When you look back over each intention, now that you've modified them by adding the intention of happiness, does it seem as if the intention of happiness has factored into your intentions before? In other words, you may have intended to landscape, but did you intend to be happy while you were doing it, or were you approaching it more like a chore or something you just had to get through? Do these revised intentions generate any insights about the way you have been living your life up to now, or about things you may want to do differently? This is a good time to ask yourself the following questions. Does happiness factor into my decisions and goals? Why haven't I had the intention to be happy? What is the benefit of being unhappy? Did I grow up in a family where I got attention for being unhappy? What am I afraid will happen if I become happy? You will gain valuable insights by looking at things this way. Next section. Become accountable for your happiness. Choosing the center of your life on happiness is arguably the most important choice when it comes to happiness. People who love themselves make happiness the number one goal of everything they are doing. They don't put off things that bring them joy as if joy were a future reward to reach for. They don't spend their lives working hard so they can have a nice, happy life or retirement later. Choose to make things that bring you the greatest joy the central concern in your life. Choose to live every day to its fullest, spending each day doing the things that you love to do. These choices enable you to express yourself fully. They will allow you to come into your unique individuality and be authentic to what brings you happiness. Don't let people undermine your focus on happiness. Realize that if others resist your decision to make happiness the central focus of your life, it is not because they are right. It is because they are afraid for themselves, afraid for their own happiness, which they do not currently feel in control of. As you stand up for yourself, be accountable and assume full responsibility for your own thoughts and actions. Take charge of your own happiness. Don't focus on problems or argue about any of your limitations or blame anyone else. Rather, focus instead on finding solutions and the freedom you have to do so. Taking accountability for your happiness means figuring out where you want to go from here and initiating a way to get there step by step. But just make sure it is your own vision of happiness that you are chasing. You are bombarded by other people's versions of happiness all day, every day. As people, we are constantly trying to impose our own ideas of happiness on others because we want to be validated. We want people to agree with us. Your lover, your parents, and your friends tell you what you should be doing if you want to be happy. The media even tries to sell you on the things that will make you happy. Identifying what makes you happy gives you a lot of insight into who you really are. This process of personal inquiry, as it applies to happiness, is not just a process that applies to big things. It applies in every moment of your day-to-day life. It applies when choosing things like clothing, figuring out what to eat or not to eat, and deciding what you want to do today. The best way to integrate this choice into your life is to set an alarm to go off several times throughout the day. Every time the alarm goes off, ask yourself, what would make me happy right now at this very minute? When you get the answer, act on it. Implement your own vision of happiness. Next section, take inventory. To start taking charge of your life, take realistic inventory of what you can change. You can focus only on the part of any equation that you have total control of, and that is the part you play. Anytime you find yourself in a less than desired circumstance, you can ask yourself these 5 magic questions below. I recommend these questions in different chapters. They help you understand the bigger picture when things go wrong. In this case, they will help you focus back on happiness after an upset or wrong turn. 1. How did I make myself a match to this? This doesn't mean to look for ways to blame yourself for it. It means to look for the power you had in creating it. 2. What am I meant to learn from this? 3. What is this pain causing me to know that I want? 4. What is the positive that could possibly come from this? 5. What can I do to change things for the better right here and now? By answering these questions, not only do you gain incredible insight, but you also take control of your own destiny. It may seem counterintuitive to ask these questions when you are in the victim role with an obvious bad guy to blame for why you feel the way you feel, but this is the best way to be happy and keep your focus clearly on your own happiness, which as we know is the one thing that you can control. Next section, an exercise in honesty with yourself. Honesty goes hand in hand with the choice to discover and live according to your own version of happiness. It's a choice to be truthful with yourself and eventually the world. We tell ourselves lies all the time, and we lie to other people. Even those of us who pride ourselves on our honesty maintain illusions with others and with ourselves. We do it even when we think we are telling the truth. Sometimes, instead of telling lies outright, we keep secrets from ourselves and other people. We tell lies and keep secrets because we are afraid that if we tell the truth, there will be consequences or we will not be loved. However, people who are happy choose to live according to their own personal truths. Honesty is a kind of freedom. We can't love ourselves and conceal ourselves at the same time. To love ourselves and to be happy, we must be truthful about ourselves, to ourselves, and to others. We must confront our own myths and look at ourselves in an open and honest way so we can decide what is right for us to think and do individually, regardless of what other people around us think that we should do or think that we should think or do. In this way, happy people live according to their own sense of internal integrity. They view happiness as a kind of internal contract with themselves. They use this internal contract as a true They use this internal contract as a guiding light to ensure that they can never lose track of their true selves. Being honest means bringing our subconscious into our conscious awareness. It means uncovering our deepest fears, insecurities, thoughts, feelings, and desires. Until we bring these things into our awareness so we can understand them, they are running haywire and covertly controlling our lives. Until we fully understand the truth of ourselves, we will make all kinds of choices that make no conscious sense. The truth is often covered over by other thoughts, and until we peel off those and other thoughts to find the truth, we can't be emotionally healthy and happy. A good way to admit to your own truth is to sit down with a piece of paper and write the following. I tell myself that blank, but the truth is blank. Fill this down several times on the paper and fill in the blanks. For example, I tell myself that my dad will come back one day, but the truth is that he isn't coming back. Then on a second piece of paper write, I tell other people blank, but the truth is blank. Once again, write this several times on the paper and fill in the blanks. For example, I tell other people that I got a degree from Harvard University, but the truth is I went there only for one semester. Finally, on the third piece of paper write, I pretend that blank, but the truth is blank. As before, write it out several times on the paper and fill in the blanks. For example, I pretend that my family is close and down to earth, but the truth is that's how I want them to be. In reality, they are distant and cold, and none of us really get along with each other. Don't worry about not being able to come up with things to put in the blanks. Your deepest secrets and lies want to surface and will surface because your true self wants them to be seen and discarded. Just remember that nearly everyone pretends something. Nearly everyone maintains a facade for themselves and for others. This does not make you a bad person, nor does it make you hopelessly messed up. It makes you normal. But behaving according to what is normal does not guarantee that you are behaving according to what will make you happy. We need to be willing to be honest about our true thoughts, our true beliefs, our true needs, our true feelings, our true personalities, what really make us happy, and our lies if we were ever to hope to be happy and love ourselves. We can't withhold the truth from ourselves or from others and be happy. Truth is the key to finding inner harmony. It's as true now as it was when it was first said that the truth shall set you free. The way to be truthful with yourself is to question yourself. Introspection is a lifelong process, but it's a process that inevitably leads to happiness. Alright, so that is it for tool number 19. That last line kind of stuck with me quite a bit. Introspection is a lifelong process, but it's a process that inevitably leads to happiness. Introspection is definitely a really good thing, taking the time to sit down and just, again, filling in the blanks is just another way, essentially, of, conversing with yourself. And, yeah, what she was saying, basically, about, trying to come to terms with the truth with yourself is really important. I feel like a lot of times we do actually lie to ourselves, we lie to other people. Like she said, it's normal, technically speaking. A lot of people do it. But being honest with yourself is probably one of the most important things. It's probably one of the most important things that you can be. Probably more so than being honest with other people. If I'm being honest. I lost my marker. Here it is. But yeah, that's going to do it for tool number 19. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you have any thoughts about it, feel free to drop those in the comments below. Would love to hear what you guys think about the tool. Tool number 20, I'm probably going to do the recording for that. I'm going to try and get to it tonight if possible. So we can have hopefully 2 or 3 of these out by the end of the weekend. But yeah, like I said, we're quickly coming to the end of this, so thanks for sticking around if you've been checking out the readings thus far. More on the way for sure, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.